Hello everyone, my name is Dylan Topham and today we are going to be working on exercise 13 of chapter 5, in which we are going to prepare a cost of goods sold section using the periodic system. Before we work on this exercise, we need to gain an understanding of what the periodic system is. In our book, we learn the difference between a perpetual system and a periodic system. In the perpetual system, there are entries made each time that a sale is made, whereas the periodic system does not determine the cost of goods sold until the end of that period. Now we are going to look at an example that the book gives to give us a better understanding of this. We see here that PW Audio Supply Incorporated has their cost of goods sold for the year ending December 31st of 2017. They start out by showing us the inventory for the beginning of the year, which is $36,000. Then it has us the purchases of $325,000 and subtracts the purchase returns and allowances of $10,400, after which the purchase discounts are subtracted as $6,800, giving us a net purchase of $307,800. After which we add in the freight-in value, which is $12,200, giving us the cost of goods purchased. We will add that with the inventory at the beginning of the year, giving us a total of $356,000 for cost of goods available for sale. After which we will subtract the inventory that they had for the rest of the year, which was $40,000, giving us a total of $316,000 for cost of goods sold. Now let's look at the problem we are given. Here we have companies B, M, O, and S. We are asked to fill in the blanks and complete the cost of goods sold selections. First, let's look at company B. We have a beginning inventory of $250 with purchases of $1,500 and purchase returns and allowances of $80. Now to find the net purchases, we need to subtract the purchase returns and allowances from the purchases, giving us a total of $1,420. Now we are going to add in the freight-in, which is $130, which gives us $1,550. Now as we look at the cost of goods available for sale and the ending inventory, we are going to subtract the ending inventory from the cost of goods available for sale, which gives us a total of $1,490. Now let's look at company M. Company N has a beginning inventory of $120. Their purchases are $1,080 and their net purchases are $1,040. So in this case we need to figure out the purchase returns and allowances, and to do so we need to subtract the purchases from the total net purchases, which would give us an amount of $40 for purchases, returns, and allowances. Now we need to figure out the freight-in. To figure out the freight-in, we need to take the cost of goods purchased and subtract that from net purchases, which gives us a total of $190. The last thing we have to do for company M is to figure out the ending inventory. To do this, we need to take into account the cost of goods available for sale and the cost of goods sold. The difference between these two gives us $120, leaving us with the complete cost of goods sold, $1,230, which was previously made ready for us. Now let's look at company O. Beginning inventory here is $700. Purchases will be figured out by adding the net purchases and the purchase returns and allowances, giving us $7,700. Now we need to figure out the freight-in value. To figure this out, we need to take the cost of goods purchased and the net purchases and take the difference from that. That is $640. Now the last thing we have to do for company M is to figure out the cost of goods available for sale. To figure out the cost of goods available for sale, we will take the cost of goods sold and add the ending inventory, giving us a total of $8,750. The last company that we need to do the cost of goods sold for is Company S. With Company S, we do not have a beginning inventory, purchase returns and allowances, or cost of goods purchased. We are going to wait to do the beginning inventory because the beginning inventory does not play into factor until we have the cost of goods purchased. To figure out the purchase returns and allowances, we need to take the difference between purchases and net purchases. This is a total of $1,300. Now, as we look at the cost of goods purchased, we need to figure out this difference so that we can figure out the beginning inventory. To get the cost of goods purchased, we are going to add the net purchases and the freight in, which gives us $44,530. Now we are able to figure out the beginning inventory. To figure out the beginning inventory, we need to take the difference between the cost of goods purchased and cost of goods available for sale. This is $5,000. This is the end of the tutorial for example 13.